Ralph Wilson, Your Honor.
Yes.
Trevor Maysville.
Stephanie Can on behalf of Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson, could you please state your name for the record?
Ralph Wilson. What were we doing?
Your Honor, we are asking for a brief adjournment in this matter for see if we can get any negotiations going. In addition to that, because of how his phones accepts incoming calls, we were not able to act yesterday. So the first time I've had the opportunity to speak with him is, or not yesterday, Tuesday. The first time I've had the opportunity to speak with him is today.
All right. Before I give you your date, there's a violation report. Have you seen it?
No, Your Honor. May I approach?
It's a scram tamper.
May I approach?
Take that. And can you get me another one? I made me to.
Ralph Wilson appeared in court as the case People versus Ralph Wilson was called. The judge asked him to state his name for the record, and he confirmed. His attorney, Stephanie Can, requested a brief adjournment to explore possible negotiations, explaining that due to Ralph's phone only accepting incoming calls, she had only just been able to speak with him. The judge acknowledged the request and brought up a violation report related to a scram tamper. Ralph explained that he has not been drinking and believes the alleged alcohol readings were caused by his work as a custodian, which involves handling cleaning chemicals and frequent use of hand sanitizer. He described how the ankle monitor initially placed on his right leg on November 10th was too tight, causing bruising and discomfort. To alleviate the pain, he had the monitor adjusted over the following days, inserting tissue under the strap to prevent chafing. Ralph emphasized that these actions were purely for comfort and not intended to tamper with the device. His attorney confirmed that after these adjustments, Ralph no longer experienced discomfort. The discussion focused on whether chemical residues from his job could explain any detected alcohol, with Ralph insisting that he had not consumed alcohol and that all his actions were for comfort and health reasons.
So, Your Honor, in speaking with my client, he has indicated he is not drinking. He has not been drinking. The only thing he can think is happening is that his job and what do you do for a living?
Custodian. I'm on diabetic. I mean, I'm on disability, but I work for First United Methodist Church downtown Ipswich behind the transit. And I work with a whole lot of chemical. I mean, I wash my hand, but I do use hand sanitizer. But when I got the ankle bracelet on November the 10th, the lady put it on, but she put it on this one on my right leg too tight. So when I got out the next day, I went over there and they took it off my right leg and put it on here, but it's on my bone. And so the only thing I did, no one tell me anything. So I just took a piece of tissue and tried to put down there, keep it off my bone.
And so he did go in, Your Honor. He had it adjusted because of this comfort he was having. So they have subsequently loosened it for him. They did
go into what day?
So
it had to be I went on the 10th, so probably the 14th or the 16th. And that's when I asked the officer over
what time did you do that?
I went over there. That's when I paid. I think I paid like 20 something. Yeah, $20. That's when one officer, he took it off my right foot and put it on my left. And I told him, I explained to him, I told him, I said, yeah, it was on my bone. And I took some tissue and put down the triangle because it was swollen. He took it off and he put some of that thing on there and, charged it back up. And then prior to that.
Does he want a hearing on this? Because I'm not believing anything he's telling me.
want a hearing on the fact that you Yes, Your Honor, my client would be asking for a hearing. He's saying he's not used alcohol. The only thing he has done is use some things that he has to use for his job, which he can bring in to show the.
The conversation continued with Ralph reiterating his abstinence from alcohol, highlighting that he attends AA meetings every Thursday and stressing that the only substances he comes into contact with are soaps, cleaning chemicals, and hand sanitizer from his job. The judge asked about the reported alcohol readings, prompting Ralph and his attorney to explain that these may have been triggered by chemical residues on his hands while adjusting the monitor. Ralph provided a detailed account of his activities, including washing his hands, wiping with sanitizer, and making minor adjustments to the monitor, all necessary for his comfort. He mentioned using alcohol-free soap at home and toothpaste containing a small amount of alcohol, which he uses responsibly. His lawyer emphasized that the only tamper incidents occurred on November 14th and 16th, and all other readings were normal, indicating compliance with monitoring requirements. The judge questioned the plausibility of these readings, and Ralph described his careful handling of the ankle monitor to prevent bruising and injury. He maintained that all actions were transparent, documented, and explained to the officers.
So yes, he's asking for.
What kinds of chemicals is he talking about?
I mean, I use soap, pine soap, stuff to clean the toilet with. I mean, but I haven't drunk nothing. I even told the man over there that I sign my own self up at the church every Thursday at 7 o'clock to go to AA. So I haven't drunk nothing.
It doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
Your Honor, can he take an ETG test?
Well, at some point he might be able to, but right now, I'm a bit concerned with what he's telling me, that there's somehow or another a chemical that's doing that. And if that's the case, we would have readings all over the place because it would work more than just one day, right?
And Your Honor, I don't have what the readings are. I know that what this report is saying is that on November 16th and on November 14th, were those days?
Yeah.
Okay, so he can tell you that he was at work on those days. None of these other days has he tested positive for anything on because he's not doing anything.
And those are two days
But they're a tamper.
So he's going to acknowledge he put something in between that and his skin because of the
And I
discomfort.
told them that there.
He did admit that.
Yeah.
He just was doing it to put a cushion though because it was digging into his skin. And again, they have subsequent, and there was a bruise, which is why they moved it from the one leg to the other leg. And so it has been adjusted. So he's not in quite the discomfort that he was in.
Why was he talking about an alcohol reading?
I'm sorry, why was he telling you?
Why was he telling them about an alcohol reading?
No, he did not. Apparently they told him that there was alcohol detected, and he said the only thing he can think of, it's the chemicals that he's working with because he's not been drinking.
And I bathed with a native soap. I mean, the lady that put it on, she told me, go on Amazon and get, order something with no soap.
No alcohol.
And no alcohol. And the native, it don't have alcohol in it. And that's all I use. Besides the toothpaste that I run on the 10th of November out home. That's what I use to brush my teeth with. Now that got alcohol in it. I got that at home. That's what I use. And like I said,
well, when I'm looking closely, I don't see an alcohol reading.
And I was going to say, Your Honor, I can't see any of it.
Which is why I'm trying to figure out why were they discussing and why was he stating that the alcohol reading came from chemicals?
He is telling them that because he's saying I didn't drink. The only thing I can think is because of the job that I do. So when they asked him about it, he's like, I haven't been drinking. Only thing I can possibly think is because of the chemicals I'm around at my job.
Ralph further elaborated on his work environment, explaining that he uses strong cleaning agents such as pine sol and other disinfectants, which he washes off thoroughly, but which he believes could contribute to false readings. The court examined the technical distinction between tampering and consumption, and Ralph reiterated that any alcohol detected was unintentional, likely due to residual chemicals during monitor adjustments. He described in detail his interactions with officers, payments made for monitor adjustments, and the careful steps he took to prevent bruising and discomfort. The lawyer stressed that Ralph's conduct outside of the Tampered incidents had been fully compliant. Ralph described a timeline of monitor adjustments, explaining that the first misplacement occurred on November 10th, followed by corrections over the next several days, emphasizing that these adjustments were solely for comfort. The discussion highlighted the complexity of SCRAM monitoring systems and how normal daily activities could unintentionally trigger readings. Ralph underscored his honesty, sobriety, and proactive participation in AA, maintaining that his behavior has always been in good faith.
Your Honor, I agree that there's no alcohol reading, but the violation describes that on both of the separate Tampered events that alcohol was detected
Correct.
Which would,
During the tamper.
which would
If
work.
you look at the bottom first page, the last bullet point
First page.
doesn't give a reading, but it indicates that alcohol detected during the tamper.
That's normally they distinguish between a consumption event and a detection of alcohol, correctly. We can't tell just based off of this, but when you combine the detection of alcohol with the verified tampers.
Yeah.
And again, Your Honor, it would make sense then, because if he does have something on his hand, but he's trying to adjust the ankle thing, it would detect because of whatever's on his hand.
Now, my wife dropped me off. Now, I did get me a Wendy's burger, and I did use the hand sanitizer in the car to wipe out my hand. So, I mean, no.
So on two separate occasions, this happens? Really?
No, when I went to pay.
It's not, you're okay. No, that's good. Your Honor, my client, he is working on his drinking issue.
Yes.
He is saying that during this time frame, the only time he has ever adjusted this was because of the pain. Subsequently, he's gone and gotten that fixed. It's my understanding that there's been nothing since he's gotten it fixed, because it's been addressed. And the only thing he can think of is that whatever chemical he has is on his hand when he was adjusting and trying to get some comfort or some relief from the issue is what was detected.
I explained to them, I used a tissue and I put some, it was bruised over here, and I put some Vaseline on there. I mean, if they got alcohol in, I mean, I don't know, but I haven't had a drink. I sign myself up at my job every Thursday night from 7 to 9 AA. No. And the guy over there, the last one on the 16th, he told me I can use any kind of soap. So he's telling me this, then the other one tell me no. So then the other lady tell me something else.
What did I tell you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor, just.
I'll give him a hearing on the second half of the violation. He admits to tampering, but as to the alcohol detection on it, I'll set that for November 25th, 2025 at 3 p.m. I'll adjourn his probable cause hearing to that date. That's 5 days out from now. But at this time, defendant's bond is revoked.
Finally, the judge addressed the tamper and alcohol detection concerns, clarifying that Ralph admits to physical tampering solely for comfort, but the alcohol detection requires further review. The lawyer requested a formal hearing to present evidence and explain the chemical exposure theory, while the court acknowledged that the only violations occurred on 2 specific days. Ralph reiterated his participation in AA, consistent sobriety, and professional handling of chemical substances as part of his custodial duties. He detailed interactions with officers, adjustments made to the monitor, and steps taken to prevent discomfort. The judge scheduled a hearing for November 25th, 2025, and adjourned the probable cause hearing, noting that Ralph's bond remains unchanged. The courtroom discussion emphasized procedural fairness, the distinction between tampering and consumption events, and the importance of accurate readings from monitoring devices. Ralph's statement provided a thorough account of his compliance, personal care, and efforts to maintain comfort while adhering to monitoring requirements. The session concluded